So we're getting ready for UFC 94 as a guy we haven't seen in a while is back on the scene. Highly regarded prospect and one of the tough 6 alums, and that's Matt Arroyo. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. You just got your goodie bag. Did you get anything good?
I did. They gave us like 6 hats, a couple of sweaters. Awesome.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. So we were just talking off camera. Normally in Tampa. Big game is down there, and you're not there. What the heck?
That's good. It's too crowded there anyway right now. I'm glad to be here, and I'll be back when all that's over with.
Yeah.
I'm not on fall football anyway, so it doesn't matter. No,
hey, believe me, it's
I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl.
Really?
I have no clue.
Get out of here.
I swear, no clue.
Wow. Okay. I'm not going to tell you. It doesn't even matter. What's the difference? Needless to say, on Sunday you're traveling. You're not going to be carrying.
Monday, I'm staying here.
All right.
Super Bowl, so I'll be back Monday.
So you literally could walk down to the sports book and go, "Oh, really? They're playing?"
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. A little odd. So of all the things to try, how'd you get hooked up with jiu-jitsu?
It was something I always wanted to do in the back of my head. I saw Hoist obviously destroy everybody in the first few UFCs, and it was just I never looked for a school, and then finally I found a Gracie school up in upstate New York, and started doing jiu-jitsu, and then just did it every day. Got really good, really quick, and started competing. And then after 3 fights, I tried out for the show. Tough, and made it.
So why do you think that happened? Why did you come so quickly in terms of jiu-jitsu while maybe some other guys don't pick it up?
Some people are good at certain things, some people aren't.
Yeah.
It was just, I guess I was meant to do it.
What do you tell students? I mean, because you've got a school now, so what do you tell students who are getting frustrated, maybe because they're not picking it up as quick?
I mean, some people are naturally gifted athletes, and some people have to work extra hard, and depending on who they are, I'll tell them based on that. If they're not as athletic, I'll tell them just got to get your reps and get your mat time in, and eventually, it takes a little time.
And how's the school? You just opened a new school, right?
Yeah, we opened a school in Tampa, South Tampa, and now we're moving locations into Extreme Gym in Howard Ave. So it's a 6,000 square foot facility. So we're excited about that. It's going to grow.
How are these schools doing in general? Because it seems like it's really a nice money making opportunity for a lot of the fighters now. I mean, is it a booming business? Do you have to struggle to get students? How do you get the word out? And as a guy who's part of UFC, is that part of the marketing to get the word out?
Yeah, I mean, definitely fighting in the UFC helps the marketing.
Yeah.
Especially if you say that you have a school in every interview you do. That helps.
There you go.
But I think the first year is always going to be rough for every school. You got to get 50, 60, 70 students, and then it just snowballs from there with people spreading the word. And it's kind of hard to market because you're not going to market a guy who doesn't want to do anything to come fight.
Right.
Usually people are seeking it out. So you just got to find those people, and they're out there. They're becoming more and more of a big group. Now that the UFC is getting so big, so it's helping out a lot. So
what was the experience like for you on Tough? Because everyone has some people think it's the worst thing ever. They hate being sequestered in the house. They go insane. What was it like for you?
It's the same thing. It's the most, it's the biggest opportunity of your life, wrapped up in the worst experience you could have for 6 weeks. Everybody says, oh, it's probably not that bad. You get free food, this, you get to train all day. You get 4 hours of training in the day. You got 20 hours left with nothing to do, no phones,
incredible
no
boredom.
Yeah, it's just boring. So, and there's a lot of pressure. There's cameras on you the whole time, and you want to win. You want to get to the next level. You don't want to be out of the tournament after your first fight. You want to show what you can do, and it's a lot of pressure because you're being followed the whole time. Any emotions you have, it's going to come out.
Yep.
So it's just tough. It's just tough.
Have you watched the episode since, or the season since? On there now to just kind of act the ass to make sure they're on reality TV? Is there too much drinking? There's
always going to be those guys, and they're casted for a reason, to make the show a little more interesting. But there's a lot of tough guys on it, and I like the fact that you have to fight to get on now. That wasn't like that in my season.
Yeah.
That's going to separate the guys right there who want to be there.
Right.
And the guys who are there to clown around, usually they'll get eliminated. But you still get some guys that make it through the cut.
Well, I have to say that I've kind of realized the first in Tough history, the last probably 6 months to a year, that there was a guy on one of these Tough episodes who actually didn't act as crazy as he is. Because I think we see some guys go overboard. They're really it's beyond their personality. But John Copenhaver is crazy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe they didn't show everything, but now he's not with the UFC. But he is a lunatic. I don't know if you're up on MySpace.
I do.
But we all get these bulletins. I mean, last week. I mean, I wrote it up on the blog. I'm like, well, good luck having the Secret Service not show up, because you can't really say you want to smoke a president.
Yeah, no, that's bad. Yeah, they could have made him look a lot crazier than they did. He said and did a lot of things that they cut and put on the. I was right there. I was on his team. I mean, honestly, I do think he's a good guy. He means well, but he's got a lot of his own views, and So does everybody else, but his are just a little more crazy.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
You know, other interesting stories out of that season. Tommy Spear, I think, is intriguing because the guy made it to the final. He's, I mean, really raw.
Tough
he goes out and loses to Anthony Johnson, and then, you know, basically next fight, he's done.
Yeah, I actually just looked up his record recently. He's had 3 fights since then.
So he's been fighting.
Yeah,
so
he
didn't
has
walk
been
away.
fighting. He didn't walk away right away, but he has 3 fights since then. He won 2. I think he lost his last one to a close decision, but I guess he's still fighting. He said he had to quit to work on the farm, but you know, 2 more years, that kid could be serious contention.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it, right?
He's got great wrestling. He's tough as hell. He's got the work ethic.
So I wonder what turned it for him. Maybe that was just immediate emotion that he was ready to walk away, and then
it's a bad loss, man. That was devastating.
Well, it's tough. You know, I mean, it's going to happen. Guys, you know, guys get knocked out quickly, and I'm sure it is really disappointing.
Absolutely.
The other story out of the show, aside from Copenhagen, aside from Tommy Spear, Matt Danzig, I think, has had some success.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think Ben Saunders has a chance. He's another guy who's out of Florida to be really a superstar because he's a freak at that weight. I don't know how he makes the weight. But boy, he gets in there. That fight night for the troops was, I mean, that was scary to see what he could do to somebody.
Yeah, that's Ben when he could when he knows the guy doesn't want to take him down. Not many people are going to be able to stand with Ben. And he's used to fighting a guy that wants to take him down, and now the guy basically told him in the interview that I don't want to take you down. So Ben's like, he's like a kid in a candy shop.
Here's 75 knees.
Yeah, he works hard on his stand-up, and that's what it looks like when a guy doesn't want to take him down. So that just sets an example for anyone else he fights. You know, probably go for the takedown.
Yeah. So I guess the lesson is out of that show, though, relax. You know, for people watching it, you know, whether it's Tommy Spear, whether it's you, I mean, injuries happen, bad losses happen. It may take a while. That, you know, there are guys who go on there very raw.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of guys with under 3 fights on the show.
Yeah.
And it quickly, you know, tells you whether this is something you want to do because you're so new.
Yep.
Like I was going on with 3 fights. You know, you're just a baby to the whole game.
Yeah.
That you know you're not used to that kind of coaching or that kind of training and. You know, they'll let you know if you want to do this for a living, and I think that's what the show is all about for the fighters.
All right, so in a way, was this? I mean, I'm sure it sucked to have to, you know, have a broken ankle, rehab, you know, go through all the downtime. In a way, has it kind of awakened you, you know, that hey, you know, I got to take advantage of this because it could all be taken away? Has it actually increased your hunger?
Definitely, it's the UFC. It's the best athletes for fighting in the world, and I know there's a short window of opportunity to get in, do what you have to do before you're out. So you got to take the opportunity and make the best of it as quick as you can, and try to get as many wins as you can, and try to get as good as you can as quick as you can.
Right.
Because, like I said, it is so short. But yeah, the injury, you know, I had 6-7 months off. It was basically 4.5 months of rehab, and then like another month to just get my mind straight, and then 2 or 3 months of training. So you know, it sucked, and then it was good too because I got to take a nice little break and just think about everything and now my training camp was good because I was fresh. I wasn't, you know, overtraining.
What do you think of Dan Cramer? He's another guy we don't know a whole lot about. Not a whole lot of experience. Looks like more of a wrestling background. I don't know. Am I wrong saying he's kind of custom made for you if he's not really equipped to defend submissions?
Yeah, I mean, I think his jiu-jitsu is a lot better than what it showed on the show. I know guys who roll with him and say he's pretty good. He's solid. He's been doing it since he was 16, so he's no, you know, amateur to jiu-jitsu.
Right.
He just got caught in the heel hook, and I think he panicked. He knew Tim Cador was a black belt, and he didn't want to get his ankle broken.
Right.
So I think he's a tough kid. I think he's good everywhere, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and striking, but he's not really great at one thing. Right. So that's where he's probably going to get cut and have to go back and try to pick one thing and make it really good. Any guy that's being successful in the UFC has a specialty, and I don't think he really has a specialty. He's just a tough kid, aggressive as hell, so that's going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah.
But I think once you get past his aggression, I think wherever the other person's specialty is where they're going to beat him.
All right.
So I think that's the same thing with our fight.
All right, good deal. There you go. There's Matt Arroyo. He's back, and he's got a big fight on Saturday.
Thank you.